Good morning, everybody. Danny B here, trying to get used to this videotaping on my iPhone, so please bear with me. I am not one to do over 100 million times. So anyway, good morning, everybody. So this is my collage journal, one of them. I have probably 4 of them, and 2 are kind of themed. I'm not really a theme person, but we'll get to those at another time. For today, we're going to focus. Whoa. Are you still with me? A little seasick? Anyway, so let's open this up. If you watch me on Instagram, you'll know I made this one in August 2018 and started working on it then. And I don't work on it every day. I work on it, I should say play, because it's really play. I play as the mood strikes. And the wonderful thing is, over the course of almost 2 years, my likes and dislikes, they all evolve. So, especially, in art. And so you see, little subtle changes or going back to what I really love. Or anyway, let's get going because I could talk forever about this. So it's just tied together with, again, fabric scraps from the thrift shop, which, because of the coronavirus, we're at home, so there's no thrifting to be done. All right, I'm hoping this is going to be close enough to catch everything. I'm trying to see where my hand is at. Yeah, I guess it'll do. Okay, I'm going to have a seat because this is going to take a while. Well, I really don't want it to take a while, so I'm going to flip through really quickly, and then if you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. One of my favorite types of booklets are the canning booklets. I like the way they're structured. I like the colors in them, and I also like the feel of them. I've gotten really particular about what I use in my journals now. Okay, so again, remember, it's just a collage journal with things I love, visuals. It's just a junk journal. So here we go. And again, keep in mind, each page was not completed at one time. In fact, some of these pages were started in August and just completed recently. So, and I say completed, but they're worked on the entire time, but I'm not finished with them when I start working on them. It's just a work in progress, always is. Okay. And again, these are all vintage notes and things I made, things I've collected. You may have seen some of them in hauls over the years. This right here is just a tag that fell off of something I had. Okay. This, I left it as it is and just added this one piece right here because I just loved all the advertisement on it. Okay. This receipt was actually in a book that I had gotten at the thrift shop. I'm going to have to flip quick because I don't want to make a part 2 of this. And I'm hoping all the pages are coming in. It looks like it. It's going to be what it is. I have to get back into the habit of doing these. I figure flip throughs are really the most fun for me because I'm not coordinated enough to do process videos. This one right here is one that I've worked on off and on, and then this was the very last thing I added. This right here is personal vintage paperwork from my dad's side of the family that I inherited a big box of. This is a paper napkin, scraps, packaging. Appliques. I love packaging. It's one of my favorites. This was actually a stamp I have, which I love. I've had it for a couple of years. I think this was maybe one of the very first pages I ever did. If you look back on my Instagram, you can see some of these pages that I've worked on and then how they've evolved. But you got to look way back. Okay. This right here is an insurance benefit thing that my grandmother had. You know, they used to come by the house and you used to pay a certain amount and they documented it. Boston brown bread, very popular when I was growing up. My mother loved it with cream cheese. You know, all the good stuff. Dump cake. This is a very old recipe. Actually, I didn't even do this part. It was like that. So, this is my grandmother's. And then this right here is just a recipe. We love dump cake. So this one was, oh, it just says cherry apple, or my husband likes cherry. There you go. This was an earring. I just took off the earring part and put it here. Whoops, that fell out of there. And this lifts up, you can put something in there. This was an earring also. And when I say earrings, they're from thrift shops. They might have cost 50 cents to $1. One of my favorite new stamps I got. Haven't started coloring any of them in yet. I kind of like them like that, but I will eventually start coloring them in. And I got these new stamps from AliExpress. I absolutely love these number stamps. And again, more packaging. And I left it so you can see the back and see underneath. Now this had a collage on it that I just over time did not care for, so I redid it. And that's just the great thing about junk journals and glue books and collage. You can just cover it up. If you don't like it, you've outgrown it. This right here is, well, I thought it was a pull-out, but guess not. And this is a receipt from our Baytog orchard from 1966. I don't know if this is going to show up, so I'll put it like that. It's a flip-out envelope. I didn't cover this because I loved this. This is a page from my aunt's address book. Little bits and pieces in here that I like and want to save. This is a telephone from my aunt's. I wonder what the date is on it, if it has it. 1975. I love this, How to Preserve a Husband, so I really didn't cover that. It was too cool to cover. And this right here, it's actually an Artie Mays digital that I put on Vellum. And thank you to New York Junkiness for the idea of the type of vellum to use that would do that successfully. And this is from Lisa Piece of Art, when she sent me that wonderful glue book that I've split into 2 glue books and I love working in. I believe these were her mother's. And many of you know I love the card packaging. It's one of my favorites. This was actually, like, there was 3 of them that I found at a thrift store. And I don't know, I just liked it. Thought it turned out really well here. This is a tax collector for 1942 from my side of the family. I also like button cards. I love my crimper that I got from a thrift store. Fisker's crimper. I absolutely love that. It just turns things into such a different type of ephemera. And this is index cards that I just collage periodically and use them. And I've used them all up, the ones I've made so far, so I have to make me some new ones. This is from my high school, what do you call that, handbook? Yes, I saved it all these years. This was probably when I was a freshman, and I graduated in '72, so there you go. Again, this was printed vellum. I left this because I loved it. And just added some trim, again, from the thrift stores. I'm not much for flashcards, but I love these red ones. I found them at a box of them, I think, at a thrift store. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. And this was from an antique shop, actually. And this, I made a copy of it because I didn't want to use the original, because it's a 1954 calendar that looks like this. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's gorgeous. So I found that actually at an antique store. And when I shop at antique stores, I do not spend a lot of money. It's got to be at a good price. I always love this parts of the bird that's in those guidebooks. I didn't touch her either. I just thought she looked so good with the fish coming through her head. I know, weird. This is an old Holiday Inn receipt that I got. Oh, geez, I covered up the date. But I know it was back in the 70s. Yes, I'm a paper hoarder. Again, a receipt from the Baytalk Orchard. This was a napkin. This was a piece of ephemera I made and just stuck it in here. Again, family ephemera. This was a Rolodex card that I collaged and just put in here. It's an envelope and some digitals. I just thought it looked really good coming out of there. Didn't want to cover that up. This actually, believe it or not, is an earring. I have two of them. I wouldn't wear them, but they make great dangles. And there you go. This was a French letter right here from Monahan Papers. If you're ever looking for some original papers, vintage papers, Monahan Papers is the best way to go. This is a scrap from Cat Hand in the motivational morsels. I forget. I'm still working on it. We're on March. This is one of those index cards again. It gives them some bulk. This is a picture from a whole stack of vintage photos I got from a secondhand store. And this is from a yearbook. This is the Ideal Homemaker, which I absolutely fell in love with. It was actually a book that I cut apart. This is a cluster that I made. This is from a pattern. I just like the girl. And I love this page, so I just made a tab on it. See, it's going to be hard for you to see probably, because that's how big it is. Let me go this way. I don't know. we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it's okay. This was from Wishes and Weeds. I ordered a journal from her, and this was one of the cutouts that I really wanted to put in this. It's a napkin. Florida. And then Howard Johnson's. We stayed at Howard Johnson's as kids. These are some cards I made a long time ago. Some pages are very simple. This is the packaging from that stamp I like. It's Julia Nutting. And this is from my favorite artist, digital artist, is Ephemera's Vintage Garden, Debbie Ann. She's awesome. And then this is the end. And see, I had to take 2 other signatures out because otherwise it just would be unmanageable. And this is just a napkin from at Ninny's Napkins. And I thought it was a great end page. So there you go. Let's see how this video came out. This is it. Alligator mouth. I love it. Lots of loves in this book. Lots of favorite things in this book. It's just, like I said, it just takes time. You know, don't rush things. Just put your love and heart and, you know, just, anyway, let your muse have a play. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be kind to each other, and please stay safe and wash those hands. All right. Love y'all. Bye.